Good morning, gentlemen. Today's lecture topic is AFSPA, Armed Forces Special Power Act of 1958. It is an act of Parliament grants special power to Indian Armed Forces to maintain public order in disturbed area. Disturbed area is area where mob get outraged and violate the law. To maintain the dignity of law, central government post armed forces in this area. In few decades, we can observe that it has been spread from one to state, another state in 7 sisters of India. This act of government have been criticized by human rights organization. In 1942, British framed Armed Forces Special Power Act to control the mob during the Quit India movement. On this model, our central government during partition of India, they made Bengal Ordinance, East Bengal Ordinance, Assam Ordinance, United Province Ordinance, so that the security in internal states or areas can be maintained. Article 355 of Constitution of India give power to the central government to do so. Article of Constitution of India give power a state to announce emergency when a local police get failed to tackle local issue, when the return of erosion of peace, when the scale of instability is too large. In disturbed area, the officer of armed forces can arrest anyone who commit offense without any arrest warrant. He can stop any vehicle and search it. He can go anywhere in any place to search anything. And fourth, after giving warning, they can fire or use other kind of forces to control the people or public. United Nations, have criticized this step of India of Armed Forces Special Power Act because it violates international law. And the human rights organization from all over world has been criticizing the India for this Power Act. But India follow this AFSPA Act in the disturbed area so that the dignity of law has been maintained and to ensure the safety of the people. In recent time, in July 2020, our Defense Minister Rajnath Singh have posted the armed forces in Assam to control the mob. That's why it is considered the disturbed area and it will be raised from another state. So to prevent this, the armed forces has been posted and it will be there for 6 months. In disturbed area, the status quo has been maintained minimum for 3 months. And this is the reason that this act have been included in the Constitution of India. Thank you.
Jai Hind to all. Today our lecture topic is Armed Force Special Power Act 1958 and I would like to cover this topic in 4 steps. Firstly by introduction, secondly about the little background of the AFSPA, and thirdly and fourthly about the point in the favor and the against of AFSPA, and lastly by concluding the topic and some my recommendation in the AFSPA Act. So Armed Forces Special Power Act gives special power to the Indian Armed Forces such as cite on suit, arrest without warrant, search without warrant, etc. If you're talking about the little bit background about the AFSPA, then this ordinance was firstly implemented and passed by the Britishers to suppress the Quit India Movement Act in 1942. After independence, this ordinance was used by Indian government to maintain the law and order and maintain the peace in the disturbed and insurgent areas. In 1958, this ordinance became act and first implemented in the Naga hills of the Nagalands and then to the entire northern eastern states. But if we're talking about the current situation, present situation, Armed Forces Special Power Act 1958 is operational in the entire state of Assam, Manipur, Nagaland, 3 districts and areas which are falling under 8 police stations of the Arunachal Pradesh. So the points which are in the favor of AFSPA. So Santosh Hegde Committee 2013 report that AFSPA is mandatory in the disturbed areas. To maintain the law and order and peace in the disturbed areas, AFSPA is mandatory, but with the condition. Condition is that this act should be revived after every 6 months in that place, in that area, in that disturbed area. And if situation is controlled, then this act should be removed from that area. If it is not controlled, then it is continued. And if there is no AFSPA, then neighboring countries can take benefit of that states and do some illegal activities. And Armed Forces Special Power Act, if there is no Armed Forces Power Act, then police may not able to control the overwhelming insurgency in that area. So AFSPA is necessary in that disturbed areas. And if there are also some claims in the engaged AFSPA, some people claim that central government do lot of alter changes in the AFSPA Act without consulting with the states, and there was also claim that a lot of human right violation committed under the AFSPA Act, and it was also stated that if situation is controlled in the area, then still central government is not remove AFSPA this act from that place. So I would like to conclude my topic by saying that AFSPA is needed in the disturbed areas, in the disturbed areas, to maintain the law and peace in that area. And one recommendation that I want to give: Tripura was a successful state dealing with insurgency with the honest and transparent government, even though it is touched with the neighboring country, not with the one sides but from three sides, but even the state maintain law and proper peace in that area. So I recommend that other states which are under AFSPA can follow the Tripura's strategy to maintain the law and peace, law and order in that area. So thank you. And the last recommendation I want to say that this act should be revived after every 5 to 6 months. If situation is controlled there, then it should be removed from that area. It should be eradicated from that area. And if situation is not controlled, then it should be continued. So thank you. Jai Hind.